stream over here. Let me see here. Oh, I'm gonna put this phone on mute over here.
Esta es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello, hello.
What's up, James?
Hey, what's up? What's up, David? How's it going? Or should I say the birthday boy, man? Hey, I heard I heard on the vent that that it was your birthday today. How first of all, I want to go ahead and wish you a happy birthday, and I want to say a cuvo to Jesse. How old are you turning today, David?
Man, I'm finally 18. I'm finally 18. I'm finally old enough to vote, James. I'm gonna go get me a pack of Lucky Strikes. No, I'm 43, man. 43 years old.
Damn, man. Hey, I'm 43 too. What a coincidence.
Hey, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Nah, it's cool, man. No, I feel all right. I'm a little, I got a couple creaks and cracks in the bones, but other than that, though, I'm still fully functional somehow after everything. But yeah, it is, it's my birthday, man. My boy.
Some side effects of Agent Orange, but he's got
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been doing a research paper or an essay on the Vietnam War. So we're using terms like napalm, Agent Orange.
Yeah, we're all
Viet
Vietnam
Cong.
up in here right now.
Yeah.
I got a helmet on and bullets strapped across my chest.
We're method writers. Yep.
Fully committed to the process.
Yep.
I
Nah,
got
we just
brushes hanging off my ears.
yeah. My boy Jess got up early and man, he made some bomb ass rice bowls, and I had Felipe chirping in the vent all morning, man.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Where is he at right now, man? He
Oh,
he
man,
he,
he was
sh-
in the-
he should be typing in right now.
He's been tapping in all morning. Yeah, he'll be right there. And then like he got kind of offended because I told him I wanted to use him as a piñata. So he's a little pissed off right now, but a part of him likes it. No, that fool. Hey, that fool.
He's one of those that are like, ya no me quieren.
Yep. No, that fool opens up on me, James. Like honestly, if the listeners were to hear the way Felipe talks to me, honestly, the internet will be divided right now. And it should be. It should be. There would be Team Felipe, Team Jesse and David, and we would be like trying to get Team Gary onto our side. That's just what it is.
That's right, Team Gary.
Strictly divided. Yeah.
It's like Mean Girls in here.
Yeah. It is. It's like Mean Girls in here. It's exactly what prison is.
Yeah, it's rough. A bunch of high school girls acting crazy.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's what it is.
So I want to go ahead and just give you guys a heads up. We're doing a double stream right now. We're streaming on YouTube and El TikTok, and we have Elias, man. He writes, "Hey, now happy birthday to David."
Hey,
What's up,
gracias.
man?
Hey, man. What's up, my boy? Yep. I was thinking about Iceman this morning.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that stuff that happened in San Francisco with with one of their players. Yeah, I can't say like exactly what happened because I don't want to get booted off TikTok. But somebody got hurt up there, 49ers player, and
Not first round draft pick.
yeah. And I was just thinking about like the state of Frisco in there and the things that are going on, and it's just then I was thinking about that kid too though. Like I don't want to be a dick about the whole scenario. It's like, look, what happened to the football player is horrible. That's a terrible thing that should have never happened to him. And I was thinking about that kid, right? I was like, man, what would possess a 17-year-old kid to feel like he has to do that? Like I can understand. I mean, this is a stick up. This was a way of living for this individual. and that kid's life is going to be changed forever because of that decision.
Yeah.
It's gotta be rough up there, and not only that, they're going to try him as an adult. He's going to obviously go to prison. He's going to be absorbed into to that system, and it's going to be a rough road for him, and that the guy that he did that to, thank God that he's able to recover, and it wasn't nothing that was, it was going to end his career or his life, and he's going to go on and he's going to have a great career, and because of this action, this kid is going to probably get lost and absorbed into the system, for the rest of his life. And I think about that, like, man, how can we stop that? How do you stop that? We're like, Jesse and I would consider ourselves experts in this. We're experts in that ideology. What do you think, Jess?
Absolutely.
And we can't come up with an answer. And that's the scary part. We sit in here. We're in a think tank. This is what we do. Jesse and I talk about these things all the time. We talk about it with guys who from all different walks of life: North, South, Central California, black, white, Hispanic, and none of us could come up with a solution. So I could imagine what people that are, they're disconnected from this lifestyle, but they know something has to change. This mass incarceration, this machine of imprisonment, it's not working. It's not working because that's still happening.
Hey, David, I just read a comment here from one of our viewers right now on TikTok, and they write think tank. Maybe we should try to set something up like that. Get a think tank going on, and you guys are experts, as far as that life and be that type of thinking, and maybe we could get a group of people from in there out here and throw out some ideas, and maybe something positive could come out from it.
No, absolutely. What?
Somebody's calling, I guess.
Hold on. What happened?
Oh, Martin's calling.
Oh, hold on.
That's cool. Yeah,
All
and,
right.
and that's an amazing idea. No, I'm still here. We like the fellas, because of my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my birthday, the fellas, Jesse hooked up some bowls, and the fellas pitched in so we could all eat together. And we're on lockdown today. So,
Oh, that's right.
Because it's a training day. So, the fellas, they're trying to get it to where we can send the food out. I think he hooked it up, Jess. Yeah, we have one of the guys, which is our neighbor. He's hitting up the officers because they're all right. They're not. It's not like what a lot of people think. They're under.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Most of them are pretty understanding, and they know who's who and stuff. So they're gonna make it to where the boys can eat with me on my birthday. We'll just go bring the bowls to them, and that'll be that. So Jesse's gonna be off for a couple minutes, but
Okay. And right now.
Go ahead.
And right now, while we're waiting for him to come back, let me read off some of the comments, because I definitely don't want to. I don't want our listeners to feel like I'm overlooking their comments and whatnot, because they are taking time out of their day. They could be watching so many other things, doing so many other things, besides here, sitting here and listening to this conversation. So I want to go ahead and start off with Jaime Steeler fans, and he writes Chili Lime. He was one of the first people that I joined up as soon as I started up the stream on TikTok, on TikTok. We also got a comment from Mario, and he writes that life is crazy after, because today's topic, it's life after crossing over SNY.
Yeah.
We also got we also got Casey _ fan. She writes, "Hi guys," and let me see also we got Casey, and she, I definitely been slipping on this. She's mentioned the taffy, and I actually got the taffy right in front of me. I got a funny story I want to share with you guys. So right now, when I was setting up, my wife walked in, and she's like looking around, and I'm like, man, what is she gonna pick up? Because she always has to touch something. And sure enough, she grabbed the taffy that you guys packed up, and she was like, what is this? I'm like, it's taffy. And she was like, who put it in these containers? I'm like, not me. And then and then she was like, what are these labels right here? Like, what's Felipe's daddy? She was like, I wouldn't eat this.
Hey, Felipe's right here beat on me. Ah, motherfucker.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hey, right now, did you hear me getting punched on right now?
Yeah.
I look over and fucking Felipe's in my cell punching on me. That'll be happy birthday, right? Hey. Yeah, here we go back real fast.
Man, so I tell my lady.
Jesse, I look over.
Go
ahead.
I told my lady, I'm like, man, just leave my stuff alone. Like, what are you doing in here? Like, I don't go into your area and start snooping around and whatnot. She was like, hey, let me see what's inside here. Oh, she was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know about this taffy. She's like, you better not be eating this. Your stomach's gonna get all messed up. And I'm like, man, like, leave me alone. I got a phone call coming up right now. But I got a good laugh when she was reading the name. She's like, what's against the grain, or what are all these names? Did you write this? And I was like, no, it came like this from prison.
No, you know what I'm gonna for you. Hey, so it's funny that you mentioned that, right? It's funny that you bring that up. So, it seems like every time that I I give my justification about Felipe, we get kicked off TikTok. So I think I'm just gonna.
We just started. We're only 15 minutes in, so.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not trying to get kicked off right now, but hey, the funny part. Okay, so a lot of those names right there, right, that I sent.
Yeah.
That was a joke because, the viewers or anybody that tastes that taffy's actually freaking excellent. That the name Felipe's daddy is that's the actual brand of the taffy. It's not like, to be taken literal or anything like that. But it's funny that when I did that, Felipe was so happy. He was like, hey, he was laughing, right? When I showed him the names, I showed him the labels, and so that one right there, it's like a mango. It's like a mango orange flavor, and it's something that was kind of like, well, you could experience the joke, like you can also you can also like be a part of like the shit talking, like that's just what it is, because that's what we're doing here. Now, it's crazy because this is a men's prison, so we are very mindful. Like, we don't play like that with everybody. There's a few of us that's like a group of people in here, and we're comfortable with each other. We've been here with each other for a long time. Some of us have known each other for a long time. So we know, we still have a respect though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can clown people and we could say things that are like, that most people out there would think like, damn, that was super foul, but to us it's not. But there's things that we don't say, like we don't get into like yo mamas, and we don't do stuff like that. We don't, like, we could like with Felipe, me and him actually do, but most of the time that's not something that's real common, But there's one that's called Against the Grain. So Against the Grain, I sent you two of those. That flavor right there, that's that pineapple one. I think I don't remember if it was Miss Vettel or it might have been Casey underscore. I don't know. Somebody was talking about the pineapple taffy. So I wanted to show you guys like how we do it, how we make it. And that pineapple taffy, James, all these flavors that I sent you, they're gonna knock your socks off, man. We went above and beyond with those flavors. They're
In fact, I want them back because I want some taffy right now.
Yeah, we put our best work on those.
I'm gonna send you $20. Send me a clavo. Send me the taffy back.
I sent you a.
I'm prendido right now. I'm buying my own product back.
I sent you an orange flavor.
Orange.
And that orange one, we call it Wasco orange because it looks like a orange jumpsuit, from like Wasco's reception. So that's why I called it that. And it's just kind of like, those are experiences of our lives. Against the Grain, when we cross to the side, like what you said about the topic, when we crossed to the side, we went against the grain. We went against everything that was.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
We went against everything that was normal to us. We went against the people who, everything we knew. And we said that we're going to do something different, and that's very difficult right there. So I thought nothing would highlight that difficult move more than a pineapple flavor.
Mm.
Mr. Graham. And it's funny that you say that too, because I mentioned to somebody yesterday when we were in group about people have reservations about making compromises.
Hey, this is going to cut off right now because what you're saying is, hold on, I'm going to call right back, James.
For sure, for sure.
Jesse has a good point to make right now.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so if there's anybody out there that's watching this stream and is interested in getting some samples of the taffy, the guys, they sent me some extra taffy that's not part of this clavo I got right here, and I could cut it up and send it on over to you for free, free shipping for I think I could do it either like an ounce or 2 ounces, so you could go ahead and try it out, and just in case you want to pick some of it up. Let me see. So yeah, just drop me a DM. You could either send it to me via TikTok, IG, or whatever way. I also got my email address down there, and let me pick up the call.
It's Global Telling.
This call is now being
una llamada
recorded.
prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta... Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Go ahead, Jess. Yeah.
No. Yeah, so as I was saying before we ended the call, was Dave mentioned about, going against the grain, just making the decision to come over here, and some of us did it for the right reasons, and some of us did it for self-preservation. Whatever your reason is, it's still the same thing.
Yep.
Coming over here, it's in conflict with everything that you've ever been taught, everything I believed, everything I thought was right. Coming over here was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, even though it was a self-preservation, but it was still like, damn, what am I going to do? Who am I? Without everything I believe, then I was a shell of the man that I thought I was. I know now that 100% that's not the case, but at that moment, that's what I believed. I was going to go against everything that I ever believed, by coming over here. This was the ultimate no-no. And so, I was telling somebody last night in group about it, and I've come to this understanding along the way. When people are struggling when they're getting into recovery and they're working on changing their life, they struggle with making compromises. What about this? And I don't want this to look bad, and I don't want that. And last night because I'm a facilitator for Criminals and Gang Members Anonymous, CGA, and I was telling the guys in there, because there's a lot of guys in there just for milestones that are still struggling with their addiction, still struggling, and that's what those groups are for. They're not for the people that got it all figured out. They're for the people that need help. And so I was explaining to some of them, look, man, whenever you guys are at conflict with making the right decision, and to you it may seem like the wrong decision, walking away from a fight, not nutting up on some cop that's acting rude, not, doing anything that conflicts with your old destructive belief system is going to leave you in a personal conflict. I said, so anytime you run into that fork in the road, I said, just think about the compromise you made when you chose to come over here. You made the biggest compromise. When you guys decided to come SNY, you went against everything you ever thought and believed was right. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care what your reason is. Coming over here was the ultimate no-no. So when you're here, now that you're here, and you start thinking about making courageous decisions for yourself and doing the right thing, and that in no way, shape, or form am I encouraging people to run around and act like law enforcement and start doing all kinds of weird shit, because I still disagree to an extent with the way that works, because it's like if you're still harming people, if you're doing stuff like that to bolster whatever it is you're doing, if you can't turn your life around on your own merits, then you're not doing the right thing anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
You're sacrificing people to get where you need to be, just like criminals did, and so I don't in no way, shape, or form encourage people to come over here and start acting like weirdos and just, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and I'm, just and you see it. I see it all the time here, and I stay away from those dudes, because those dudes are liabilities. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they'll step on you for any reason. They're not doing it because what's right and wrong. They're doing it because it's beneficial to their own presence.
What worries me about dudes like that is that's their value system.
Right.
Their value system is tied into that,
right.
And so they believe that
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
They believe that doing that is putting themselves in a better light with the cops, and
And it's not.
it's
Cops
not
have
only
the same mentality that we do.
not only is it not putting him in a better light, but the moment that they stop giving them any type of information, they're going to start feeling like they don't have a value.
Yep.
And once they stop feeling, once they're going to get desperate, and once they get desperate, they start to look for things that aren't there. And once they start to look for things that aren't there, that's when kites start to get dropped and all kinds of weird shit happens.
Yep.
That's why we stay the hell away from those people.
Yep. That's when they're not being validated by some cop that's patting him on the back or entertaining him, but as soon as he walks away, he's telling other people, "I'm under the rat."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
they do.
You know that's how they do it right
they
here.
do, right
They'll
here.
pump you for your information to make their job easier, and then they'll turn around and they'll tell the other guys, "Hey man, under the rat. Be careful with him."
Yeah, that's what they do. Yep.
Because they don't want to be doing any unnecessary work. But anyways, what I was saying with all that is whenever I was telling the guys last night in group, like, look, man, when you guys get to those forks in the road where you have to make a good decision, a right decision, and it leaves you at conflict with what you think is supposed to be convict-like, or what you think is supposed to be gangster, or what you think is supposed to be, acá, just think about the fact that you compromised all that when you made the decision to come over here. So if you made the biggest compromise in the world, why can't you start making little compromises that are going to reforge your character, that are going to rebuild your character into something honorable and something with integrity? And again, I don't mean you're going to come over here and do all that weird stuff, but you can start making decisions to be understanding and compassionate and having the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to think about my family today before I decide to bust a nutty on this dude. Or I'm going to think about my visits today before I decide to stick a needle in my arm, or I'm going to think about, you know what, hey, fool, I can't pass that. That's going to get me in a situation, or I'm not going to get mixed up in that. Or like they had this riot a couple of weeks ago right here in the block with the blacks and the Mexicans.
That was way out.
And I'm going to keep that shit real. If I was in that building, them dudes are on their own. Straight up.
Absolutely.
It nothing, that ain't got nothing to do with me, nothing to do with any, you know what I mean? Like, I don't play that stuff, you know what I mean? And I always say it that those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter, you know what I mean? The guys whose opinion matter to me, they don't mind that I made the right decision, because they don't expect me to compromise my freedom for some bullshit that they got themselves into. And the guys who I'm concerned about their opinion would never get themselves in a situation like that. And the guys whose opinion don't matter to me, those are the ones that are on the sideline like, ooh, ee, ah, like if they're in middle school pumping some shit up. But it's like, come on, fool. Like, I mean, if you really felt that strong about it, then why aren't you doing something about it? So it all goes back to that, And so I was telling some of the guys last night, like, hey, whenever you get that fork in the road, just think about it. You've already made the hardest decision of your life. So now you can start making little compromises like, you know what, I'm not going to allow myself into this situation because I'm going to think about who else is it going to affect, not just me, but it affects my family.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing even being here, being here with Jesse. There's things that happen on the yard, and there's people, I've talked to you guys about this before. There's people that I would love to have just knocked out. It would have been very simple, for me. But the fact of the matter is it's not just about me at the end of the day. For one, the person that I would do that to, he would be an absolute victim. I have a responsibility. To watch my anger, don't be disrespectful to people, and to not make this environment any more dangerous than it already is. So if somebody
like that is going against the grain of prison culture,
that's it. And that has another meaning behind the going against the grain cafe, because that is not normal in prison. To think about that person. This is a person that I feel is disrespecting me on the yard. This is a person. It might be something small. It might be something big. But regardless of the fact is, I feel that according to prison norms, I was supposed to handle that. My body is even if my body's even moving a little bit in that direction, but I have tools, I have coping mechanisms, and I have a support network. So I know that if I'm feeling like that, I'm obviously triggered. I have to identify the situation, what it is, people, places, and things, and I have to remove myself from it. And I have to also keep in mind that it's bigger than me. For one, this person right here, I don't want to make anybody feel, I don't want to victimize anybody else, regardless of who they are, what they are. I just don't want to do it. And two is I don't want to put my Jesse, my boy, I don't want to put him through something like that. To have to watch somebody that, me and Jesse are close. We're like brothers. I don't want that fool to have to see me what if I get stomped out by, what if I what if I overstep, or I get into
Bit off
something.
more than you could chew.
Yeah, I go to punch out Felipe, and that little fool's got dumb hands and just rocks me on the yard. right in front of Jesse. I just hit the ground right there.
And I'd be right there like Ezel on Friday, like, you got knocked the fuck out. I don't kill, I steal.
Yeah, and I just don't want to put like people that I care about, and I say I care about these people, but I'm gonna sit there and put everybody in harm's way. I care about my community, but I'm going to continue to harm my community. I'm going to continue to be a part of the problem. I respect the staff here. I respect the officers, but then again, I'm going to put them in a situation where they're going to have to run and come into a dangerous situation for them and their and their coworkers and stuff like that. So if I say I'm mindful of all these things, then I should know better not to be getting involved in these things. That's what it comes down to. But I am going against the grain. I'm going against the grain in prison. I'm turning around, and I'm the rock in the river. Let all this stuff flow by, but I'm looking somewhere else. I'm looking to the future. I'm looking to bigger things, greater things, and this like somebody got pretty good the other day on Sea Yard, and that's another one.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
We hear the alarm because our officers respond. We hear the helicopter come. We hear these things happening, and me and Jesse, we talk about it, and we're like, damn, what, for what? What is this all for? What is it? What are these politics? What is it all for? This person, who knows what happened to him? It's very possible that he could have passed away. It's likely in those situations.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Thank you.
And
and so we go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to take the time, to read up some of the comments on here. Jesse's telling you happy birthday. That we did get a lot of comments, wishing you a happy birthday. And I know I went through the a part of the messages and whatnot. We had a message from KC fan. She writes, "Hi guys, I need to get some of that taffy." And then we got Lovely. She writes, "Hey guys, happy birthday, David." KC _ fan. She also writes happy birthday. And then let me see. We got Laura, and she writes, "I'm new here. Mind updating us? Just coming in." And Laura, when she came in at the perfect time. She didn't miss out on anything. We also got a 518, and they write sub. Let me see. And Aquarius writes, your last video brought me here. Hello to everyone. Hey, hello Aquarius baby. Gracias. Let me see what else we got. Lovely writes, hello everyone. We got Frisco from Washington, and he writes, send my saludos. And then and for today's topic is life after crossing over, SNY, and there's a user that wrote, I could never walk with them, never. And hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And everybody handles everything differently. There's some people that stick around. There's people that won't stick around. It all varies. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah. No, and the thing is we don't put that person down. That was the thought process that we had. So how are we going to say, well, this person is this and that, or it's us and them, us versus them, and all? We don't think like that. When I heard
everybody I know that truly lived that life believe the same thing. I believe the same thing. I gave 20 years of my life in here to that stuff, and I gave 30 years of my life to that shit out there. And that's, like all together between, from the time I started gangbanging to the time I stopped thinking like a criminal was all together about 30 years. And so the reality of it is I believe that wholeheartedly, and that's why I use that. I said that earlier about just the whole thought of ever coming over here. I used to literally think I'd rather die. And there's people who know me, like I've been moved on. I mean, I didn't just make a decision like, hey, I'm out of here. I'm gonna get scared now that things have gotten rough for me. I've been blasted before, more than once. And so the reality of it is, when it's life and death, and a lot of guys, it's easy to say I'll never be there either too, because the reality of it is, like, they're not necessarily in the trenches.
They're not involved.
They're not involved. When you're standing on the sideline, it's easy to be a spectator. you know. But again, to each their own. I know dudes that I genuinely believe would die before they came over here, and more power to them. If that's how, you know what I mean. I felt that way for a long time. I look back at it now, and I think it was silly on my part, but I don't judge anybody for it. I've seen a lot of dudes on these S&Y yards who have badmouthed the homies over there. And it's like, come on, fool, like, let's be real about it. Like, you got no business talking about anybody over there. You put yourself here, and I've said that before in past shows. I brought myself here. I overplayed my own hand. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't leave there, you know, disenchanted by what it was. I believed all that crap. I know better now. I understand what it is now. But when I left, I still believed in that stuff. I left on pure self-preservation, and I don't knock anybody that's there because I understand what it is to be lost in that sauce. Like, I don't judge any of them dudes. It's like, come on, man, that man he's doing what he believes is right. You know, and there's a program we do here called.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And one of the questions they ask is, why was it so hard to make the right choices? And that's an easy question for me. Like, it wasn't the right choice. I was making the right choices by what I believed and what I was taught. All those negative choices that I made were the right choices. To do what I know to be right now was considered wrong by the standard I was living by. So, you know, I ain't nothing wrong with that man feeling that way and believing that way. That's on him, you know. But like I said, when you in here and your back is against the wall and things get real choppy, you know, it tends to have a different effect on people, you know.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you a call back, James. It's going to cut off.
Okay, for sure. We'll be waiting. All right. So, you know, I'm reading the comments over here on the YouTube side. Eric Martinez writes, let's hook up a Bluetooth speaker. So you know what? I'm not sure exactly what's happening with the audio on the YouTube side because I just double checked my phone over here. I checked on TikTok. The TikTok is the audio on TikTok is phenomenal, sounding you know, that A+ audio that we normally bring to you guys. For some reason, I'm not sure. On the YouTube side, it seems like it's a tad bit lower. So. Right now, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to fix it, but you know, hopefully, you guys are able to, you know, understand that conversation.
Global Telling, usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
James.
Yeah. David.
Hey, and I wanted to, before we go on, I wanted to talk about another taffy, right, that we have. It's called Conviction, and I named that after one of the comments that a viewer made when I was telling parts of my story. That time when Jesse was at a visit for his birthday, and it was a listener that said that I experienced conviction. That's what helped me realize that it was over. It was time to move past that chapter of my life. And that statement was so powerful to me because I couldn't even explain it. I just knew that I just knew it as a truth. I just knew it, that it was time. And so I named the taffy after it.
Yes, man. Gracias.
Yep. Yeah. He sent an e-card for me. So I'm gonna say gracias. Oh yeah, he can hear.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So he's in here. I'm sure. Well, he should be in here. And if not, then I'm sure he'll catch it on the replay.
And so when, like, okay, for me, right, when I crossed over, there was I was involved with everything. Like I was in the trenches. The situation that happened with me materialized out in the streets. Didn't even happen in prison. And that's the crazy part, is when I was in prison, I had never had these issues. Never had
that kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That if you really doing something, you can't ever underestimate. Because whether you in prison or you on the streets, it's real easy when you're close enough to the fire, and it's real easy when you stand on the outside of
criticize.
But when you standing close enough to the fire, nothing that shines is gold. That's just the reality. It's all subjective, and so you can be on the street doing the most, which is exactly what David was doing. While I was in here doing the most.
He was doing, we had it covered on both ends, you know. And the thing is we were right next to the fire, and I got burned, you know, and I overextended my hand just like Jess did. The dynamics were different out there because it was the same system, but there was
a fear factor.
Yeah.
It's harder on the streets because in here there's a fear factor that works for what we did for such a long time because there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. The reality is you're going to pay the piper as quick as the piper blows the horn. Where out there, you know, people can avoid you. There's just it's a different dynamic, and there's a lot more. There's just a lot more liability, you know.
There was a lot of things going on, you know.
Gray area.
Lot of gray area. I lived in a gray area out there, so. But you're competing with other factions. You're competing with other crews, and so the process is different, and it's a lot easier to do something and to have deniability. You know, like people, you have to keep in mind, like the people that are supposed to be your confidants, they could easily get rid of you, and who's gonna say they did it? It's not like in here where everybody knows, they moved on this fool, and this is the people behind it. This is the call. Let's trace this all the way back to the source, and it's very easy in here. Out there, all you have is suspicion and deniability, and so you have to be aware of that. And when the situation happened, you know, I had mentioned it before that it was Jesse that confirmed it for me. Out of all the people that I was in the mix with, that I was doing things with, that I had come up into the game with, not very many people gave me a heads up. The first person to actually give me a heads up, unofficially, was a girl, and she was in her house, and they had received a call, and they put their business out there in front of a girl that I knew, so she made a call. She made a call right away. She said, "Hey, just want you to know that this is what's being said. These are the people that are saying it, and be careful." And so I was like, "Damn," you know, I was a little surprised, and I didn't really believe it, you know. So I kind of like brushed it off, like fools always talk shit, fools always hate, you know, fools run their mouth, and it's probably
especially when your source is coming from a woman.
And not taking away from any of the women that are out there and stuff like that, you know, because there's some solid women that are involved with that, but this one was not one of those ones. She was solid she was somebody that I knew enough to where she was going to put herself out there and let me know, but I still had to meet that with suspicion. You know, like, okay, well, what is her?
She wasn't close enough for the fire.
She wasn't. Yeah, she shouldn't have heard something like that because that was something that came from the top. So these fools were slipping to even mention something that like that around her. So I was aware, and when that happened, I started kind of watching people. I was waiting for certain phone calls, and they started to show up, and things were kind of out of the ordinary, but I couldn't tell if my mind was playing tricks on me. So I made it to where people still had to deal with me because it didn't spread that fast. So people were still like, you know, people take sides. So, you know, I had people also. So people were kind of taking sides, and they were I put myself in a situation where people had to come to me, and it wasn't an environment that you would want to walk into aggressively. That's all I'll say. So people wanted to meet. Told me this is where I'm at. I'm not going to these spots right now. I made up reasons, and so they would have to come into my environment, and I would have people stripped out sometimes. You know, I was that kind of asshole when I was doing that. People would come up, I would have them met, you know, at a certain spot, and yeah, it was a crazy little.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I said before, Marcelli right here, he was the first one that actually called me from the system, you know, from that environment, and he was in the hornet's nest. He was one of the hornets, you know, and so when he gave me that call, he gave me that notification, I knew that was that, you know. So keep in mind, in that lifestyle, 9 times out of 10, I know I'm coming back to prison, you know. So that was a decision that I had to make, and it wasn't, it was a self-preservation thing. There's no cleaning something like that up. Once that's made, you're done. So once I crossed over, once I came in, I picked up a 187. I was still living that lifestyle, and I picked up the charge that I'm here for right now, which is a 187. And when I came into the system, I crossed in through the county. So that was a new experience because I had never been like that in the county, you know. So it was something like, man, it was a shameful feeling. I felt like I felt so embarrassed. I felt like so powerless. I felt like just they put a big old blue wristband on you. It's different when you're a GP, you're white, or I would be in the hole usually or something. So I would have a red wristband on, or something like that. But to have that blue wristband on, it was just, man, I felt like I was wearing like a giant sign, that said like no good or weak. It was just
Like you got shit on your face.
yeah, it's crazy, a crazy feeling, and it's just like, was there anything, there's always that doubt in the back of my head. Was there anything that I could have done differently? Where did things go wrong? Like, how could this have happened? Then the blame game starts. It's just, this is all things that I'm worrying about while I'm fighting for my life on a 187, and resources that I had before, they're gone. Suddenly those resources, like you said, James, they're gone. I can't call the runners. I can't call the, these people that I could depend on for this and that. I can't go and collect money from these spots anymore. Like my entire system, my entire network is it's absorbed into somebody else's crew. And even the like the women that would like hit me up and stuff like that was done. They're giving me the look, and I'm thinking about it like, damn, like, you got fools that are woofing on me, through the cages. And it's crazy because when I was on the main line, we would never woof on dudes that were on this side. We couldn't even talk to them or acknowledge their existence. But now I got these kids, I got these youngsters that are looking at me sideways, like if I'm just some piece of shit or something. And I'm like, damn, like, where were you the whole time I was out on the streets? Like this whole time, like none of you fools were running up. You know what I'm saying? Like none of you fools were running up then. I had you fools stripped out in the freaking yard before you walked up to my pad, and now you're over here woofing on me in a cage. And that's what I thought. And I was just, so I started to get really defined in my attitude. I started to get that us versus them mentality. Like, I'm gonna show you fools that I'm still this, I'm still that. You fools got it all wrong, and that's where I fucked up. What was it like for you, Jess? Because I know we've talked about it, but I know the viewers haven't really, like, maybe some of the new ones.
For me, like I said, it was a self-preservation thing. I was basically forced out. It was either that or stick around, keep getting hit, and end up losing my life. You know what I mean? And I wasn't enamored by the lifestyle anymore because I had already seen enough things that had me like, man. But one thing I like, crossing over was still not an option, until you end up finding yourself at the opposite end of a knife, and it's just kind of like, damn, like, well, there's nothing I could do to fix this situation. Why, do I really want to die behind something that I don't believe in anymore? And so, but it wasn't even about me anymore. It was about how I was going to make my barrio look, how I was going to make those who supported me through all my struggles, who helped me get where I was. It wasn't even about me. To be honest with you, like, I stuck around day in and day out, even after they had targeted me, and living in fear. I'm gonna keep it real. I was in fear because I know what it was. I've done those things to people, and I've ordered those things done to people, and so the reality of it is, when it's time, it's time. The only difference is I had built an insulation around me that kept me safe a little longer than the average person would have, and it was a horrible feeling. Fortunately for me, they came and snatched me up anyways, which made it easier. They basically told me, like, you're that's it. You're not, it's like you're going to RCGP, or you're not going back to the yard. You're not going to. The reality of it is what it is. You're not going anywhere. So you could stop fighting it. You could stop. You're not going back out there. So it made it easier for me to just say, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm cool. I'm not gonna subject myself to this, but it was a nasty feeling. It was a nasty feeling because it was just like, man, everything I stood for, everything I believed in, my whole identity, my whole life was wrapped up in this, and 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 now I'm gonna undo all that. And so it was a horrible feeling, and like you said, I felt like I had shit on my face, for a couple weeks. I literally, like, I couldn't sleep. I was sick to my stomach, and just the thought of, like, man, where do I go from here? I have no idea. Like, I felt like it was a sickening feeling. And that's how entrenched that stuff was in me. And I even had the thoughts like, man, I should have just went back out there again and got hit again, and just don't even put up a fight this time. Because in my mind, I was literally thinking, like what, you know what I mean? Like, what if I don't have who I thought I was, then why am I doing alive anyways? Like, I could just, like, I should just let them finish it next time. And so it wasn't it took me a little while to accept, the reality that, like, well, what's done is done. It is what it is. And I was able to start sleeping, and it was just a weird feeling. It took me a long time, even after I was here, though. Even after I was here, I didn't accept that I was here. I just had accepted that I wasn't there. And to me, when after I was here, it was like, man, I'm not like these dudes. I'm not like these cats. These dudes are, look at the kind of people.
These are freaking weird, huh?
Yeah, these people are weird. And look at these cats. Look at these youngsters. They came in here off the cop car. I just had all these rationalizations because I couldn't come. I was still in denial about what it was. Like, I was still in denial that I was here. And so it was a hard transition for me. And ultimately I fell back into doing what I knew how to do because I wasn't ready for change. I wasn't ready to let go.
Jesse, so I want to go ahead and read some of these comments because they're good right here. So
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
we have Celi
Le
Bonita.
queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Man, I got hit with the double whammy. But we have a comment from Celi Bonita 82, and she writes, that cause doesn't even make any sense. And then we also got Chica. She writes, the stories. the stories are exactly what my loved one is going through right now. It breaks my heart. And then we also got Juero, and he writes, bro, you ain't alone. I was in the same boat as you. And then we also got David.
Appreciate that for.
We got David GV 87. He writes, I know the feeling. So there's a lot of people that could relate, with what you guys went through, because you guys are not the only one. There's a large population of the California prison system that's in the same boat as that you are right now. I know the call's about to hang up, so if you guys want to go ahead and give me a call back, we'll go ahead and continue.
Yep.
All right, so I want to go ahead and thank everybody that's currently on this live right now. I appreciate the hearts and the what else, the following, if you just subbed, and for you guys taking time out of your day to watch this content. I know you guys could be doing all kinds of others, utilizing your time in a different fashion or a different way. So this is for those of you that are here for the first time. This is David and Jesse. David would be on the left side on the screen, and David would be on the right hand side.
Call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello. Right now, I want to read a comment to you from Juan on the YouTube side, and he writes, "Happy birthday, David."
That's cool. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate all you guys.
Yeah. And I appreciate too the positive vibes being sent through the messages and stuff that you read off, James, because and we absolutely are aware that we're not alone, because I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I'm here on this yard with many dudes that did this even long before I did, that I knew from the main line, that some guys that shocked me. Like, there's nothing surprises me anymore, because to me, I don't say when are they coming. I don't say are they coming. It's
It's
a matter
just
of
a matter
when
of
are they
when, yeah.
coming. That's the way I've seen it. Like none of it shocks me anymore. Every now and then I'll see somebody and be like, wow, what are you doing here? It just because and so as far as like I know we're not alone. There's a lot of dudes here. A lot of people see things for what they are now. But also too don't want to take anything away from the dudes that are over there. Like I don't look like I said. I don't judge any of them cats based on the fact that there's guys over there, and I don't encourage the criminal lifestyle. I don't encourage the gang lifestyle anymore. I don't encourage the drug lifestyle. I don't encourage none of that. I don't condone it. I don't give any value to it, right? But a lot of those dudes are doing what they know. That's it. And I know guys over there who are simply there. People like Dave and I, we made it our business to get involved in a bunch of stuff and put ourselves in situations that brought us here.
Yep.
At one point, when you did time, you had no choice. You were involved in something one way or another. But that's not the case anymore. There are people there who choose to mind their own business. They don't get involved in drugs. They don't get involved in politics. They don't get if something happens with their race or their ramfla, they're going to handle their business because they have an obligation to do so. But they mind their own business. They can do 10 years, 15 years in prison and never get in trouble because they don't put themselves in trouble. So, I also, so I don't want to say that by being there or being here is a good or a bad thing. Like for me, I needed this to be able to do my own time, to be able to think for myself because I had no identity outside of who I thought I was on somebody else's ideology. And I didn't come over here and get my own identity at first. I had to come over here and fall victim to myself again before I started developing my own identity and becoming the person that I am today, and the person that I'm going to be tomorrow, because I'll be forever rebuilding my character. So, it's I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to say there's a good or a bad side to anything. I just for me, what it is I'm able to do my own time now.
Yeah, when there's a different dynamic over here also that you don't expect. Jesse got real lucky that he came to this yard. This yard is exactly how we like it. We've opened in war zones since we were young, and I like this yard because it's peaceful. There's an element here, but there's an element.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
There's an element in most prison yards. It's going to exist. You're going to have the dudes that are, claiming these little gangs and stuff like that. But when I started my SNY journey, I was in prisons where there was a lot of gangs present, and motivated by that shame, that guilt, that fear, and that anger. That I was still blaming people. I was blaming everybody but myself. That's what made me susceptible to getting involved with things on this side. That's what I did. I did it for a while. I've talked about it before in some of my the old shows and stuff, and I'm not involved anymore. That's a different chapter of my life. But people would ask me, they're like, well, how do you go from the top of that side to getting involved with things like this? Things like this environment. And I just tell people, you're asking the wrong questions. You have to ask, what state of mind would have led me to gangs in the first place as a kid? That's the state of mind. All those things were in effect when I made the decision to get involved over here. It's like, all right, for one, I didn't have any identity outside of the gang. I didn't have an identity to begin with when I was a kid. The gang validated me. Suddenly, I'm out of that environment. I don't have the same power and control that I was used to. Suddenly, I have no purpose. I have no way. I'm just what do you call it, like a feather blown in the wind. And I didn't know how to live like that because I had no confidence. So when I came into this side, I sought those things out just like I would have when I was a 13-year-old kid, because that was the last time that I wasn't in a gang. And I needed to feel normal again. I needed to live that illusion to feel whole. And it wasn't until I worked on the things that were wrong with me personally that I was able to overcome that need for acceptance, that need for power and control, that need for validation. And that's why I'm no longer susceptible to those things today.
Absolutely, because you no longer seek validation from antisocial individuals. First of all, your value is within yourself, and you
Yep.
understand that now. Now
Yep.
you can truly appreciate who you are, the man that you are. You've debunked all those distorted beliefs about we were nothing, we were less than, we were weak, we were powerless, we were stupid.
Yep.
All the things that started to shape us into that young kid that felt compelled to gravitate towards a gang, towards drugs, and all that
Yeah.
antisocial activity. Where now it's like you're validated by the accomplishments you obtain every day.
Yeah.
Through school, through pro-social activities, through genuine interactions with other human beings, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's absolutely the case. You have to get to the source of the problem before you can fix the problem.
Yep. And that's the issue right there. And going back to what we were talking about the think tank, we know what the issues are. We know exactly what those issues are. We just don't. We just can't come up with a solution.
Well, I wanted to say, because a couple of messages that James read off real quick about a couple of the listeners, they have siblings.
Hold on, my door's open. I'm gonna step away for a
I
second.
think that's for my canteen. A couple of listeners had mentioned about their family members, actually struggling with some of the same obstacles or being in the same situations that we were in, that I found myself in, and my advice to you guys is continue to support them, continue to express to them how there's a place that they can go, that they can do their own time, that they don't have to subject themselves to those things. You know what I mean? Like the reality of it is, and just support them. They're going to come to. Don't push nothing on them, because I know when people used to tell me before, like, hey, why don't you, like, man, don't ever disrespect me like that. Don't ever get at me like that. Like you don't even have a clue. You know what I mean? Like, and I would turn on my own family. I would turn on the people who love me if they ever talked about me preserving myself by coming over here. Like, that's how, like I said, I was willing to get hurt, before I even considered coming over here. Like, that was just the reality of it. And so just all I ask you, just be supportive of them. Just tell them, like, hey, man, we're here for you. We love you. You know what I mean? We don't want the best. Let them know how it worries you guys to think about them being hurt. And sometimes, the reality may set in, like, man, I'm not the only one going through this, because a lot of us are willing to suffer any of the consequences we bring to us because we were hopeless. We didn't really care. We didn't care about anybody or anything. We didn't care about our own life. So we're in here subjecting ourselves to these things. But when they start to realize that they're also subjecting their loved ones to those kind of things.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And they can ultimately make a decision that can benefit themselves and you guys, And again, don't think that just by them deciding to get away from that or anything that it's going to change their life. They have to reach a point where they truly understand that they are the problem, and there's a problem, and that problem needs to be worked on. I came over here, and I was here for about a year and a half, 2 years before, and got involved in all the same stuff because I brought all the problems with me. But just be patient with them and understand that this the way these people, and if they've lied to you and they've made promises and they've told you I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, understand that that's their denial. A lot of times they truly believe the stuff that they're telling you, but you know what I mean? They have to reach that emotional rock bottom before they're willing to necessarily reflect on the inside and say, wait, hold on, it's not the homies, it's not the drugs. I'm the one that are making all these horrible choices and it's affecting them. So now I need to start making the changes necessary to actually apply themselves, so that way they can actually fulfill some of the promises they're making to their loved ones. But I'm gonna go and pick up this canteen. Yep. I'll be back in a few minutes. You guys have a good one.
Yep.
All right.
Just have to step out for a few, so I'll go ahead and I'll pick up the conversation.
And
popped our door.
Let me
go to the store, so he's gonna order my alligator skin boots.
Yeah, he's only rushing me along because he's a hungry ass.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
So we actually got a comment in here from Rosemary, which would happen to be Jeremiah's aunt, I believe. Yeah. So she writes in the comments, my nephew.
Cool,
my nephew Jeremiah was just released from here, and I'm grateful you guys helped him out.
Hey, appreciate. Hey, don't worry about it, man. He's a great guy. Rosemary's Jeremiah's aunt. She said thank you for helping him out.
Oh yeah.
Nah, we're happy to do it.
She's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would like to know how Jeremiah's doing right now. I think he's in a blackout. I think right now. Yeah, I think he's on like a, I don't know, Sober Living Blackout or something.
Yeah.
If he has any little updates, just to let us know how he's doing. We're really proud of him, man, and we're happy to see him walk out of here. But so other than that, yeah, it's a crazy system, man. And what helped me the most was I had somebody that I cared about and respected ask me the hard questions. You know, what do you hope to accomplish? What are you trying to do? Basically, straight up, you know. Why are you involved with this? What do you hope to get out of it? Why do you feel like it's necessary?
Hey, and those are great questions, because that's a good transition. When I come back, I want to transition the topic into what we had discussed before, as far as like how coming over affected those
relationships,
stuff, yeah. Whether personal, platonic, romantic, whatever it was, and I think that's a great topic that we should address, especially given some of the messages that James read.
Yep.
And like you said, you having somebody asking you those serious questions, and so because it definitely affects us and those who are doing this time with us, and I think we can get into that in a little bit right now in the back.
So what I'm hoping to get into when he gets back is an ice cream. Yep, don't forget.
Shoot it.
Yeah, James says shoot it. Yep.
Hey, don't say it too loud.
I'm gonna be sitting right here with my spoon ready.
You might be having Felipe knocking on the vent right now, asking for his cut.
I'm surprised she's so quiet, honestly. Felipe? He's probably asleep.
Wake your dog ass up, Felipe.
Hey, tell Jesse to kick his door when he's walking by. Wake him up.
Yeah, James said kick his door.
Yep, I will.
Absolutely. He's going to go raise hell over there. No, but these are, it's crazy because when I come on this with you, I think about a lot of things that I don't normally think about, I mostly focus on my schoolwork and things that are in my day-to-day family stuff, but I have a tendency to bury things. So what I like about this channel, and especially the questions, is it causes me to look inward, so that I can. It causes me to look inward so that I can actually heal from a lot of the things that I went through. It's a healing process. It's something that we're not used to doing. We go through a lot of trauma over there. We have blood on our hands. We've harmed people. People have harmed us. So when we come over here, we have a tendency to hold back from revealing those things, and from moving forward. So I was in a state of mind right now.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
I was in a state of mind when I was thinking about what I was going through when I had just got green-lighted, and I was out in the streets, and I was thinking about that environment and just that state of mind, and it was an ugly state of mind, James. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I can't even say I could imagine, but right now we just got a buzzing noise. Did you move like the headset or something?
I plugged in my the charger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's causing a buzzing noise on the audio.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Okay. Now it went away. Now. Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you a call back. All right.
Okay. For sure.
Give you a call back. Yep.
All right. Cool. Thank you. All right. So, man, I was just reading that comment from I think it's LLP. I visited Calipat, Centinela, Chacawala, and Avenal. Husband paroled from Avenal, 17 years. 17 effing years. Biggest mistake to wait. As soon as he came out, I got pregnant and he cheated, left, and damn, that sucks. 17 years. Yeah, that's woo. All right, well, we got a call.
This call is now being recorded.
You have a prepaid call from
David Lopez.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Cinco.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, hello.
Hey, do you still, do you hear the buzzing noise?
No, not anymore.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, I had to plug it in because the tablet was getting kind of low. But yeah. So do you have any questions that you want me to answer right now?
I got some comments, and some questions. I got a comment from Old Boy Island, and he writes, "Excuses. Play the game right. These fools go out over debit or debt."
All right. Hey, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. You know, I did not go out over drug debts on the streets. That's funny.
And then that's
Yeah,
how I was chuckling on that one. And then we got another comment from Max. I think it's Max Mill, and he writes, "Been there, done that. I've been out for 5 years now."
That's cool. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of guys that like a lot of guys that get out that come over here. Most of them don't come back, man. You know, especially the long termers go out, and when you get out to the streets, you're like, damn, like what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was all this for? All that game that, you know, with the gangs and all that other shit, like for what? What is it all for? You know, it's for nothing. You know, if you want to get your life on track, you want to get a job, and you know, you can't be involved with nothing crazy because you're gonna lose it all. You know that, James. You know.
Yeah.
You got all this stuff. You got all this stuff going on. You got your house. You got your family. You got a good job. Got all these things, and well, you're gonna just be committing gang-related crimes on the side.
Man,
you can't do that. You know?
I wouldn't even be committing.
Everything.
I wouldn't even be committing gang-related crimes when I was a teenager, let alone at this age. You know, like you said, you know, I got a 5-year-old daughter, and that's like the biggest thing to me right there. You know, being able to, you know, raise her. Out of all my daughters, this is the daughter that I'm actually gonna, you know, I have the opportunity to be there. You know, from infancy, from her being born until now. You know, she's 5 years old, and you know, I look forward to, you know, taking her to school and, you know, drawing with her and running around, and you know, it's fun. You know, like I enjoy those moments, you know, and those moments just last for some amount of time, and once they're gone, that's it. So, you know, I wouldn't want to give up any of that for anything, you know, especially some street stuff.
And then think about it. All right, so say you go through the system, you stay on the main line, right? You don't lock it up. You get out, and you're not involved with nothing. Like, who cares either way, right? Like, it doesn't matter. What does it all matter for? Because you stayed on the main line, like, and you got your life on track. You stayed on the main line somehow. You got out, went home, and you got your life on track. You didn't come back. Okay, cool. It was more honorable because he did his time on the main line than in SNY. I think coming to prison is an embarrassment to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, people in the professional world, like, that there's a notoriety to certain prisons and whatnot, but as far as like SNY, GP, like, we're technically the bigger population in the system. Most of the prisons in California are all SNY. And the people who are staying on these other yards, those are hardcore people. Those people are actually like very dedicated to that system. Those are people that live that lifestyle. Anybody who doesn't live that lifestyle anymore, regardless of what they're here for or not, what does it mean? It means they're no good under whose perspective? Wider society? Because I think the wider society would look down on this prison to begin with. It's not.
David, you know, sorry to cut you off, but like, you're absolutely right. Like, you know, when I talk to my wife about.
Cut out.
Oh, okay.
Can't hear you, James.
Oh man. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Okay, can you hear me now? What about now? Hello, hello. We might be having some technical difficulties right now with the
I can't
system.
hear you, James. It's so
Um,
loud.
can you let me see? Can you hear this?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I got you now.
So what I was about to say was, you know, prior to, you guys know my buddy, El Presidente, or better known as Tavo, and when
Yep.
he crossed over, like she was like, who cares, like like GPSNY, what does that matter, like he's still in prison, like at the end of the day, like normal people that are not involved in his life, they don't give a crap, prison is prison, it definitely is, an embarrassment, going into these places, at work and stuff, I don't mention to them that I've been to the halls, camp, and to the county system, like that shit's embarrassing, because they already judge me, based on the way I look, and then then they're gonna actually have something to talk about. So it's something, yeah, that in the corporate world, people are definitely not they're not advertising, that they've been to, certain places or whatever, because it's embarrassing. All right, so it looks like his audio might have gone out. If you're talking, I can't hear you. It looks like GTO is back to their their normal tactics of being basura, trash, like normal. I haven't been on, for the last maybe like a week or so. Hopefully it's not an ongoing thing. Let me read some of the comments right here
This
on.
call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments right here on the TikTok side, and we have a comment from TapTop_boss, and they write at the end, family is the only one there. So there is no there's no point to writing for no one other than family. You know what? I agree with you on that. But I'm sure there's like different people that have a different perspective on that. Different people have different goals and whatnot. And my goal is definitely to be here for my family instead of being behind the walls. Let me see. And Raptor_Mike 1 writes, you're only wanted when or we. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna even try to read that one there. Let me see. And for anybody that's new here, we also have a YouTube channel, and on the YouTube side of it, we have everybody that comes on. They've shared their journey from the time that they were kids. Their earliest memory to where they're at now. They go through their whole life journey, home dynamics, parents, brothers and sisters, the street, and if they went through the juvenile hall system, camp, YA, and then ultimately, going into the county system, and then going ultimately, and then ending up in prison. And each individual that comes on, they got a playlist, and on that playlist, you'll see you could go through their journey in chronological order. And I think so far we've had about 20 different individuals come on so far and share their journeys. On the TikTok side, I normally just use it for or mostly use it for to do lives, to hopefully drawing some people, and ultimately hopefully bring them into the YouTube side of things. And then whenever we go out or when I go out on vacation and whatnot, I do video visits with them. So it looks like he's calling back. Let's see here.
This call is
Esta
now
es
being
Global
recorded.
Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be... Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Yeah, it kicked me out of the whole tablet right now. Xed out my signal and everything.
Man, yeah.
It's my bad.
GTO's tripping.
Yeah. No, but I was thinking about some of like the, what we were talking about, and the fact of the matter is, right? Okay, so I wonder why the main line, like in general, or people that sympathize with them and all that, I wonder what the real hatred is behind people who leave that side. What is the motivator? What is the motivator for that type of hatred? What could it possibly be? Because we don't know those guys. I'm not a part of any widespread SMY conspiracy against the main line, or you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not my personal. They're not involved in my personal situations. They weren't the connect that got skipped out on a debt with, or and so I wonder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The guy that I locked it up owing money to. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like. And it's like, okay, so where's all the hate though? What is it? Why? Because we're free of it? Because we're not under that influence? Because we're not righteous?
Yeah.
We're not. What is the perspective? Like, righteous to who?
Hey, you know what?
Because I'm not under the thumb of a gang leader.
I want to read. I want to read a comment that Raptor_Mike1 wrote, and he writes, "It's their way or no way. That's facts."
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, okay, it's their way of no way, their way or no way, right? But it's in their system. They have control.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
They have control of that side of the system. And to be honest with you, they can have it. If they want to be, what did that comment say, or that person said with him? Yeah, they want to be somebody in a world of nobodies. Hey, by all means, go ahead. I just don't subscribe to it, and I don't know where the hatred would be. I wasn't on a stand pointing nobody out. I didn't do none of those things. I'm free of them. I'm free of that system. And it's not just a particular set of people. It's not a particular prison gang. I'm free of that environment, of that hate. And I can look forward into the future, and if I'm hated because of it, because I'm not something that I'm not something I'm not, then hey, it's by all means, go ahead, get your hate on. But it's not something that I think about anymore. That shame, that guilt, that shit on my face, that feeling I had, it's not here no more. I feel nothing about it. I'm actually super relieved. I get up in the morning and I can just focus on what I gotta focus on. Shit. Yeah. Yeah, Jesse's back from, I'm looking at his store bag. It's pretty healthy. But don't even look at it. Don't even think about it. I'm staring at that store right now. But yeah, and we think about it like the guy that got butchered yesterday, I mean, he was righteous, right? He did what he had to do. He stood all the way till the knife entered. And he's to be commended, or is he no good too? He stood there. He didn't leave.
So I don't know. Maybe when you're mentioning that to me right now, all I'm visualizing is Santana on the tier, on the fourth, on the.
Did to him.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's what they did to him, and much worse than that. Because he didn't. Santana falling off the tier, talking to him, narrating his own death. This guy wasn't, you see it at the end when he's flying off the tier, and he's like, I never thought it would happen to me. He's still talking, he's still narrating. And it's like, this dude that they did that to the other day, what's the opinion on him? He made it, right? Let's say that I don't think because we usually hear when someone doesn't make it.
Yeah.
But the helicopter came, took him, and we heard it was bad. So, is he no good?
Hey, you know what? Another thing, David, I think, and it's unfortunate too, because your family are sorry, I'm not sure if you heard that, but that was the other call that just hung up right now. But at the end of the day, it's the family that's left holding the bag. If you don't make it, they have to pay. They have to go retrieve your body, set up arrangements, to either have you buried or cremated, or sometimes you don't even have any family to claim your body. So not only it's a huge it's a huge burden on your family, because they got to scrape some money up, to either bury you or do whatever they're gonna do with you, and it's not cheap. The person that's gone is not paying for that. It's your family that's dealing with that. They're dealing with the heartbreak, picking up the pieces, and trying to figure out where to go from there. And do you think they get any do you think they get any support from their street gang?
No, it depends. I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
It all depends. It all depends on who they are, who their homies are, what their homies are doing. Because sometimes they'll come off some stuff, and I know that in the past. So I don't want to say like, oh well, it's one way or it's not, because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm getting back to the fact of SNYGP
Mm-hmm.
in general. A lot of different situations that lead people over here. Now, that guy, he obviously didn't, he didn't leave. Even if he owed or he did this and that, like, whatever it is, right? But it got to that point to where that's how he got air flighted out of here. And he's probably going to be removed from that. If they bring him back, they're going to do that again. But let's.
He's going to have enough sense now not to go back.
Yeah, and he might even be one of the people that we have on these podcasts one day when he gets his life together. We might be the first people that receive him from there. Like, it's okay. And they're going to see people like me and Jesse. We're going to be at the same bleachers. They're going to walk by and we're going to embrace them. As long as they're doing what they're supposed to do, we'll help them. And we're not going to ask what happened. I don't care what they did. The fact of the matter is they made it out of there, and we'll help them pick up the pieces. No matter who they are, no matter even if, ex-homie 205 freaking that was woofing on us on TikTok was to come over here and walk by that bleacher, man. Hey, don't worry about it.
What happened? Somebody's woofing on us?
Nah. Oh, yeah, somebody said we have drug debts. That's over here.
Drug debt? I was the drug man. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Like, hey,
I left thousands and thousands
I did, yeah.
of
I burned
dollars.
myself, yeah, because I had a gang of debts out of there.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Feel free to ask if that's true or not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people do know us.
Right?
Hey,
The news will tell you.
let me ask you guys. We got a question from backwoods underscore babe, and she writes, can he tell us what are the other reasons besides debt that people end up on the other side?
I'll tell you. Well, we know all kinds. Now,
that's what makes all this ironic. The reality of it is, at one point in time, there was black and there was white.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the reality. You knew what was right and what was wrong. But now the game is nothing but gray area. There's very little black and very little white. So what would ruin your career on one yard or even in one building on the same yard
Mm-hmm.
would be completely acceptable in another building on that yard, depending who's in charge of that building and who's there. That's the irony of all this stuff. Everything that we were taught is not what it was.
It could change.
So as far as like what are the reasons, it's crazy because the things that you were taught are right could also be a reason that would bring you here today. Standing up for your people, standing on your own 2 feet, letting your nuts hang can ruin your career today. If you're not a yes man, it could ruin your career today. If you're not willing to put your people in jeopardy to bring dope in for somebody else, can ruin your career today. And I say career with quotation marks because there ain't no freaking career in it, but that's just the verbiage that we used to use when we were living that life. Like, this is my career. This is what, like if it was something honorable or, admirable, but, in specific examples, we could go all day. I don't know if you want to give some, Dave.
Well, yeah. Well, look what happened with the. Okay, so there was a 187 that occurred here about, I don't know, what was it, 2 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
About 2 months ago, there was a 187 that occurred. That was vicious. It was vicious, James. Like that one right there. Like we heard about it. I heard they went in his eyes and everything.
But she wants to know examples of
yeah,
pride.
completely. Yeah, and so the thing is, right? So this guy was somebody in the world of nobodies. And for whatever reason, I don't know, it's none of my business, but this dude was removed from that environment. The guys who did it, everywhere they're going right now, they're getting moved on. Because there's other things in play at that, for people like that. and those dudes, one of them is already left. So they think they're doing something right. They think they're doing something right. They're giving orders, and they have aspirations to evolve in that system. And suddenly, for whatever reason, they're being moved on everywhere they go now. And they're done. They have a choice. Continue getting moved on, and stay true, which is going to ultimately lead to their death. There's no other way around that. Or come over to this side.
David, let me ask you.
They moved it up.
If those guys...
I'm being very delicate with my wording.
Yeah, no, you're good. I wasn't going to say that. But so those guys, if they would have said, no, Chales, I'm not going to do that, what would have happened to them?
Done.
So so pretty much at the end of the day, you're in a lose-lose situation. There's no winning in it, right?
We talk about that.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, and that's that gray area I'm talking about. You can do something in one place, and by all intents and purposes, it was for the causa. It was an honorable thing.
Yeah.
You go to the very next place, and somebody else who represents the same bandera, the same ideology, the same, however, his agenda is different.
Yeah.
He's taking it personal that you hurt somebody that he considered his friend. Well, mind you, we're all supposed to represent the same thing. We're all supposed to be foot soldiers. You know what I mean? So you go to the next place, and now that man wants your ass because he's taking it as personal disrespect that you hurt somebody that he considered. And he doesn't matter that it came from his brother. It doesn't matter that, you know what I mean? He's going to tell his brother it's all good. It's all fine and dandy. But the first chance he gets, and he's going to be, hey, I don't know what happened there. He's going to play dumb. And now you got two more people who are going to be in trouble because those two guys who got the runbacks for the other guy are going to be like, hey, I was just told to do this by so-and-so. Oh, well, now you're going to answer for it. And that's what you call pawns in the game.
Yep.
But as far as...
That's at that level.
Yeah. As far as asking her question, I'm going to be straight up with you. Drug debts, if people leave on drug debts alone, I'm going to be straight up with you. Those, to me, those dudes were scary. Because of drug debt, you can always fix.
There's always something to do.
Yeah, there's always some way to fix a drug debt. So if you decided to throw in the towel over a drug debt, it's because your heart was pumping Kool-Aid in the moment. You know, not to say I know some good dudes that have split on drug debt, and it blows me away because it's like, come on, fool. You threw your career away behind some dope. You threw everything you believed away behind some dope.
Like, the funny part, though, is they come over here and they do the same thing.
Oh, yeah, then they go backwards here because there's nobody here to discipline them for it.
There's dudes that lock it up, James, from all these different yards. and like SNY, everybody knows each other. Like, it's like, you always know who was at what prison, and we always know where people are.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Just like over there, over here it's the same thing. What you do in one yard is going to follow you. It always does. So we always hear who they are, and we hear the guys that are like, this dude locked it up everywhere.
So just know this, that
you're like, what the hell?
That if somebody's telling her that it's behind drug debt,
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
you can't get no water out of a dry sponge, right? So dudes aren't going to be as inclined to get rid of somebody that owes them money. Mm-hmm. I'd rather take my time and get paid eventually, because you wouldn't be in that kind of debt with me if you didn't have some source of income. Drug dealers just aren't that stupid.
They're not going to put somebody down that far if they can't produce.
Right. So the reality of it is they'd rather keep you there and give you an opportunity. What happens, people who get in drug debts and do stuff like that, it's because they start lying. They start giving fake numbers. They start giving fake addresses. They start manipulating the system to where now you're making people look stupid. It's not the fact that you owed the money. It's the fact that you went around, the way you went about owing the money, you know?
I'm going to give you a call back, James.
For sure. All right, we'll be waiting. All right, so they'll be calling us back shortly. You know, unfortunately, these calls only last for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, they have to call back. They're automatically cut off. And for those of you that are new, this is Jesse and David. They are cellies. They know each other from the streets, and they grew up, in the system. They originally met back in juvenile hall in Riverside, And if you want to listen to their journey, you definitely want to check out our YouTube side of it. And it's at Collect Call From. Go to playlist and just search for either David and Jesse. Jesse originally came on board. It's been about a year now. I think he jumped on board in September of last year. And here they are. They are calling back.
Call is
Este
now
es
being
Global
recorded.
Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Hey.
so
Okay.
I just wanted to give you the guys a heads up. So this call is gonna be our last one because I gotta go ahead and pick up my daughter from school. You know, she gets off at 2:00. If not, then I'm gonna have my wife knocking on the glass door right here. She'll probably end up breaking the glass. And then and so we're probably gonna have to do a part 2 so we could get into like the other aspect of it. You know, as far as how it affected your personal relationships with like girlfriends, wives, family, and things like that. Because at the end of the day, some people on here, they might not know anybody that's on that side, but maybe one day they are gonna know somebody. So if they want to support them, this conversation might help them out. How to navigate what they're gonna be going through, what their loved one's gonna be going through, and those type of things. But right now I'm gonna step away for a moment. I gotta run out and grab some water, but I'll be back shortly, and I'll go ahead and hand over the mic to you guys.
Hey, that's cool. And the funny part, Jess, what I was thinking, right, was about the personal relationships. I was like, man, well, I guess that would be a pretty short topic for people that lift over drugs, right? Because they have no more personal relationships. They've tapped out. They've tapped out all their personal relationships,
Because usually that's what happens is they exert they exert all their resources buying drugs and getting in debt, and so now all the people who care about them are like, look, we're done. We're not paying your debts anymore, and that's usually why they end up leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right.
Yeah. And what I trip out about this side is that the dudes who leave, they leave over like nothing.
Yeah.
They'll leave
Over there was thousands.
they'll leave like over $100. Yeah.
It's like, wow, what's the matter with you?
I'll be like, come on, Felipe, really?
Hey, get back here.
Yeah.
Hey, can you bring my spoon and my bowl back, please?
Yeah. What the hell?
Nah, but it's all good. But like old girl was asking, what are some of the things, over there? It's really, there's rules and there's guidelines and there's perimeters that surround everything that we did on that side. And really the only real way to get yourself in trouble now, in that sense, in a real way that you couldn't redeem it, is either telling on somebody or just being a full-blown renegade. They're going to give you chance after chance. Hey, don't do this, don't do that. And somebody told me one time, if I got to tell you 10 different things, I'm teaching you. Make sure you keep that mindset when you're dealing with the camaradas, with the younger homies.
Yep.
This was an older captain told me.
Yep.
And he said, if I'm telling you 10 different things, I'm teaching you. If I got to tell you the same thing twice, you're retarded. I'm getting rid of you, And that's just, you keep that same mind frame. So I always thought like that too. If you got a youngster who doesn't know better and he's doing dumb shit because that's all he knows, and you're conditioning them along the way, like, hey, this is how we do things. This is what it is. These are the reglas. This is the code of conduct. And each time it's something different. I can't get upset each time because he doesn't know. He doesn't know no different. But if I tell him something and he turns around and does the very same thing again, then he's already gotten his warning, And they start by giving them burpees. They start by disciplining them in little ways. But in the end, if they realize that you're a full-blown renegade and you're a lost cause, they're going to get rid of you. So coming over here, like I said, it could be for anything stupid, basically just not being able to follow the rules. And you got to remember, a lot of these guys couldn't follow rules on the streets. That's why they're here.
I had a dude removed one time for not going to mandatory yard.
Oh, there he is.
Stayed in too many times. I had to get some stuff to the back, and I was like, perfect.
No.
I don't even know who that dude is. He probably hates the freaking, he probably hates that side. He's probably like, damn, this fool's fucking moved on me for that. But yeah, it's crazy. It's a dirty game. That's all it is.
A lot of times it's politics, though. A lot of times it's politics. People get involved in business, but they can't fulfill their end of the bargain, or somebody oversteps their boundaries on it, and they don't know how to navigate the situation. They don't understand, or they do understand the magnitude of it.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Nope.
And when you got shit in one hand and feathers in the other, before it didn't matter. We were going to choose the shit no matter what, because that's just how we were conditioned. But when you starting to realize that what you thought was shit is actually feathers, and what you thought was feathers was actually shit, it makes it harder for you to stand your ground when you start to realize that nothing that shines is gold.
Yep, true.
So,
man, I didn't know it was going to be our last call. Sorry out there, everybody. Just blame James. Jesse and I were kicking back eating some ice creams right now. Banana split from the store, and we were going to settle in and spend some time with all you tech wizards out there.
Yeah, for my Sully's birthday, we're going to spend my Sully's birthday with you guys. Maybe later when James, I don't know if he works tonight, but maybe tonight we might be able to come back on. But it's a down day. We're going to be in the cell. So we're just eating. We're waiting for my neighbor. He's making us a cake for my Sully's birthday. I cooked some rice bowls. That's going to be good. I want to send a shout out to all our regular listeners, all those who always support us. We appreciate it. Everybody comes on here with positive vibes, and even those who don't. You know what I mean? Appreciate the support. If you listen at all, even if it's to send negative vibes or hate, we appreciate your follow.
Yeah, Team Gary, Team Jeremiah. Send a shout out, my beautiful wife. Also, about that taffy, right? Because I didn't really want to get into the taffy too much, but James is back. So, all right, James, I got to tell you about the taffy that's called Felipe's Daddy, right?
Okay.
And basically, it's basically this. Look, you two out there can be Felipe's daddy. That's why I named it that. If you want to try that taffy, you are Felipe's prison daddy. And that's just what it is. That's why I named it that. It was my way of showing Felipe that I love him, but I'm gonna put him out there. So it's a thin line. It's a thin line between love and hate. You know what I mean?
We're gonna send you a couple addresses too to send a little taffy to James.
Yep.
We gotta send our love out to Bruce Willis, of course. A taffy connoisseur himself. Lex Luke. Gotta send that love out that way. I know they're waiting for the product.
Yep. Hey, that
For
taffy
sure.
is the best taffy in the country. It's the best. You got to try a little piece, James. You do.
Try the pineapple, James.
The pineapple one?
All those taffies are bomb.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, to me that's the best one.
No, they're bomb. They're great. And the packaging, like, it's coming from me and Jess, so I wanted to make sure that we packaged it cool, so you guys can see it. Maybe you can show the viewers on a little video or something like that,
Yeah.
Like, that's from us right there. We make it with our love. We put our heart into it.
We're trying to flip a hustle.
Yep. Yeah, that's a hustle. That's a legal hustle in here.
And we were working with what we had. I know the packaging isn't the prettiest, but we worked with what we had.
It's better than a black glove.
Yeah. Could have sent it to you guys in a rubber glove like a clavo.
Ready for the prison wallet?
Hey, you know what? You guys just gave me an idea. I think that's how I'm gonna market it. I'm gonna throw some videos together, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in a glove, and hoop it and drop it, and man, it'll be the latest craze.
Yep.
Just don't do that with our taffy. Hey, whatever you do on your OnlyFans page is your business. You know?
Whatever you do on the back page.
On back page? Leave Felipe's daddy out of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go wake that fool up too. He is over there sleeping. Everybody's asleep right now.
He's laid out.
Hey, Jess and I, we just like rock these lockdowns. We spent so much time in the shoe or in the hole. We're just like, this is actually like yard for us.
They gave me a cable extension instead of the headphone extension.
Hey, they straight up got you.
They got me. I needed wires for my radio, and they gave me this bullshit.
Yeah, he ordered a headphone extender so he can like hook up his radio,
Yeah.
and it's got some cool wires in it. But they gave him a coaxial cable for a TV, and not even the good coaxial cable. It's like one that'll fall apart. It's probably already broken. It probably came broken.
Yeah. I'll give it to Carlos so he can take it back tomorrow.
Yep. Did they charge you for the headphone extender?
No, they charged me for a coaxial cable, which is 210. I don't even know what the headphone extension is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, we gotta have our sounds right in here. Jesse's the DJ in here. He got his radio pretty hooked up, man, so it bumps pretty good. But yeah. Yeah, we were telling everybody, James, just that, you know, it was cool for us. We thought we were gonna spend a little more time on my birthday with the viewers, but we're thankful for the time that we had, you know.
Yeah.
We do blame you. We do hold grudges and resentments.
You know what? I could the only thing I could do in return is I gotta do the right thing. I gotta go blame my wife. You know, she has a meeting right now at work because you know she works remotely, and she was like, oh, I got a meeting. You're gonna pick up the baby. I was like, yeah, I guess I am. You know, because I was planning to at least do it till like 3:00, but you know, hey, you know that this is
say doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Did you say doing the right thing?
Yeah.
With blaming your wife. And I track hey, James's wife. We want no part of this.
Yeah, if you guys want to know why James is on this side, it's because he blamed it on his wife.
Now you know. Now you know why James locked it up.
I have to cut off the brocha right now. I can't be walking around with the brocha no more.
She put a team of shooters on him because she's like, what, me? Blame it on me? All right.
Sure. Nah, but it was cool, man, spending time with you, James. I'm glad we got to get this call today. I got callers tonight, so I'm gonna be gone from like 4 to 7, and then yeah, we'll just be right here kicking back, you know.
For sure.
Crazy. I think about how much time we spend in this. I think about how much time we spend in the cell,
mm-hmm.
and I trip out on that. I've already been this month. I've been down 14. I thought it was 15. No, I've been down 14 years. Because I got busted 2010. And then Jesse, on the other hand, this fool been in here for 23 years. Crazy.
2001, right?
Short timer compared to Jesse. Yeah, yeah, because I came in 2000. But I got out. I did like short times and shit, you know. But I discharged my number in 2009, and then I picked up life in 2010. Yep. So that's
You know what?
yeah, I don't know if the listeners know that. We got like a bunch of time.
You know, just to put into contrast, you know, the last time I got arrested was in 2001. So that was the last time I've ever been, you know, in the county jail. So man, it just seems like a lifetime away, you know, compared to, you know, where I'm at now in my life.
And that's real shit. We think about it's like Jeremiah said, oh, you know, I only did 10 years. Like only 10 years. 10 years is a freaking lifetime, bro. 10, you know what I mean? Like I can't wait to be at my 10-year mark. You know, I'm hoping by 2036, I'll be saying, man, I was out of prison. You know, I've been out of prison 10 years, and I can only imagine the milestones that I would have overcome by that time.
Isn't that when like Fancy from Iggy Azalea was like the hot thing on the charts? Is that what you were bumping out there, James?
Man, I don't even remember what I did yesterday, let alone what my ringtone.
That was your ringback. That was your ringtone. Come on, James. What's going on here? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. See, I knew it. I knew you from somewhere.
Hey Juan on the YouTube site, and he writes, "Damn, I was 11 in 2010." Yeah, damn.
Damn.
Yep.
In 2010?
Yep.
Yep. That's when I got busted.
So he was a baby when I got busted.
This month. I got busted September 2010. Matter of fact, so September 4th, today was my birthday. 2 days later, I committed the 187. 2 days after my birthday. And then about a week after that, I went all over the news. I went all over the news for that. And then the news stories were like crazy, man. Like I was on all the channels, the commercials. I was all in the newspapers, the internet.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And then September 20th, I ended up getting arrested. Yep, I've been in here ever since 2010.
And how does it does it feel like it was just yesterday or like it's been a long time?
Hell no, I don't feel like it was just yesterday. I do. No, I don't. The way.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hey, call back right now. I got a few more minutes on my hands.
All right, I'll
It's
call back.
actually starting to feel, the time is starting to feel like forever now.
All right, so they're gonna be calling back right now, and we'll go ahead and continue. I got like about 5 minutes before I gotta step out the door, and luckily the street, the school is just down the street. It's not too far, so it only takes me like 2-3 minutes to get there. So if I don't get there in time, my 5-year-old's gonna be mad. She could be highly upset, and I'm not sure how many of you have a 5-year-old out there, but upset 5-year-old because you showed up late is not a pretty sight. I mean, when my wife picks her up, then it's okay, but when it's me, nah. All right, and there it is.
Esta es
This
Global
call is now
Talent.
being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello.
Hello, James.
Yeah. You know what I was gonna tell you guys? If you guys want, you guys could go ahead and freestyle these last 15 minutes, and then that'll pretty much end the last call. This will be the last call.
So you want me to talk to my Shelly for 15 minutes?
Well, shit, you guys do it all day. It should be a walk in the park. You're in your element right there.
I don't even talk to this guy. That's why I like to come on the show, because that's when I actually get to interact with him.
Yeah, that's the first time I even looked at the guy.
Yeah. What was your name again?
Hey, you're that NAVA character?
Yeah. Are you the guy that sleeps above me? Man, you sure look different.
All right. Yeah. Hey, no problem, James. We will. James is already gone, huh?
No, I'm
James,
still.
like, figured out.
Okay. Hey, all right. So
He's gone like a road runner.
Yeah.
He's gone like a road.
hey, so we're gonna
Microphone's still in the
yeah.
air.
Hey, if you walk away, you're still in a prison environment with this game. So all we're gonna do is talk about you for the next 15 minutes. So, hey, you see the
Yeah, it's crazy. We're going to be talking shit about James. How he left us hanging for the next 15
James
minutes.
left on some shady,
James
shady
took off and
circumstances.
he
Yeah.
didn't say anything to anybody. I think he's probably tripping. Maybe he was rigged out. I don't know.
Hey, you seen that little? hey, you seen that little pencil stash he had?
Yeah. Hey, did anybody see what he was doing with his mustache? It wasn't even whipped out anymore. I think it was like 2 clipper shavings away from Hitler's mustache.
What the?
Yeah, who does he think he is? Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah, he's probably over there messing with that Felipe character.
Yeah, he's got a French mustache.
Hey, so obviously we can keep ourselves entertained. So
All right, for sure.
I'll go ahead and ask. Yeah, but it was a pleasure, James, spending this time with you, man, and I'll look forward to seeing you pop up on the.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
All right, and call me back. Call me back once this is over, and I want to talk to you guys off of the air.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
probably gonna avoid you for the next 30 minutes at least.
Okay.
All the shit that I'm gonna talk.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
Handle.
I'm just kidding. No, I'll call you. I'll call you after it comes off, man. All right, you go pick up your daughter, man.
All right,
Get
for
a
sure.
couple with your wife.
All right, cool. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
All right, baby.
All right, cool. For sure.
Hey, so listeners, I gotta get use psychic powers to see what you guys are saying. but does anybody want us to get suspended from TikTok?
Don't do it.
All right, I won't do it.
Don't do it.
I was about to say some shit right now. I was about to cross the line right now.
Don't do it.
I was about to get us canceled.
TikTok, you know, it seems like we got a lot of the messages from TikTok, you know, so I appreciate even having that opportunity to engage with people on TikTok. And it seems like there's a lot of different people on there, and you know, it seems like we've been getting a lot of support there, and I encourage that. I did another interview on another channel not too long the other day, so, you know, I don't know if anybody that's listening got the promotional from that channel. If you are, appreciate it. You know, I did an interview on hope and redemption, and you know, I basically gave a shout out for our channel, hoping that we could bring some of the listeners over here. So anybody that's new to the channel, you know, if you guys are just catching the lives, you know, feel free to go back and listen to the old episodes, maybe get a better understanding of who you're engaging with. A lot of times Dave and I just, you know, clown around, talk shit, and try to keep it interesting, because though our message is you know, is hope and restoration and redemption and recovery, and to show people the transformation, and to give people a different perspective on prison than what you guys tend to see out there in society on the TV or in movies or whatnot. There's still an entertainment. There has to be a certain level of entertainment value on the channel as well. So, you know, we kind of try to, you know, clown around and make it a little bit interesting, instead of just coming on here and just talking self-help, or just simply talking about the transformation. Though that is the underlying message, we're just showing you that even though we change and transform our lives, we're not robots. We're still human beings. We still got personalities. We still got character. You know, we're not saints. We're not walking around kumbaya all day. You know, we're just human beings who learn to stop being consumed by our defects of character. You know, we're no longer driven by our character flaws or impulsive emotion. You know, we're people who understand, who have empathy and remorse and compassion. And we're doing the right thing. We utilize consequential thinking in every day, so that way we're not making horrible choices or creating victims. But we still in here clowning. We still in here knacking it out, talking shit. We're still, you know, like, there's still a lot of parts of us that are here with us, you know.
There's a lot of people that come by, and we'll be at the bleachers, and you know, we kick it on the bleachers that are closer to our building, and a lot of the guys that kick it there, they're from all different walks of life, but when we're over there, all the guys that are there are pretty much clean. You know, they don't mess around. But there's guys who they don't feel comfortable going over there. There are guys that they say they're doing good, and we ask them, we're like, well, why don't you come kick back with us? You know, and they were like, oh, well, I've heard some comments of like, oh, well, those guys think they know it all, or these guys do this, or all they do is talk about self-help all day and stuff like that. And it's funny that you said that right now, just because we tell them, like, really, like, all we do when we sit here, we pretty much talk shit from the moment we come to this bleacher to the moment we leave.
Yeah, self-help, yeah. There's conversations about self-help, obviously, because it's part of our life. It's not self-help. It's self-help to you because it's not who you are.
Yeah.
We talk this positive shit because it's part of our who we are. But the reality is, most of the time, we're talking shit.
Yeah, that's it. We'll go right there, and that's like, people wonder, okay, well, what is SNY like? And look, I feel like it's a different environment because I don't have the stresses, but prison is prison. You know, people look differently. There's things that go on, you know, in the shadows and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's still a bunch of people that are incarcerated trying to make the best of their situation. You know, the people who are messing around and doing drugs and fighting and doing all that shit, that's their way of trying to make best of their situation. You know, they're doing it all wrong. We did it all wrong for a long time. I was escaping my own demons and things that I had. I was trying to escape my incarceration through drugs and through violence and stuff like that. So, you know, anybody that has loved ones that are thinking about crossing over and they don't know what it is, or there's all kinds of weirdos, and there's weirdos everywhere. There's weirdos on that side that just ain't got caught.
Yeah.
There's weirdos over here. We don't deal with those weirdos. Like, I don't talk to people about what they're over here for, what they're in prison for. It's not my job. I don't check paperwork. I don't do none of that. I don't give a shit what people are here for. It's their business.
I'm trying to get out of prison. I don't give a damn why you're here.
Yeah.
If you want help trying to get out of prison, talk to me about it. Don't tell me why you're here. Don't tell me, you know what I mean, unless it's specifically related to helping you develop insight for the board process. We're not here to judge anybody. I'm not God. I'm not the jury. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's your business. Everybody got their own diseases. You know what I mean? I'm no better than the next person. Committing murder is no better. Like there is no good or bad crimes. They're all bad.
They're all bad crimes, yeah. And we do think about that, and there's a stigma attached with coming over here. But look, there's a lot of people over here. There's, what is it, tens of thousands of people over here in SNY yards. More and more people are leaving. More and more people are realizing, hey, they don't want to be a part of that shit no more. That's not for them. Maybe there's no reasonable path moving forward in that lifestyle. All I can encourage is the family members that have people that are involved with things, or they're coming into prison, and you can tell they're kind of going the gang route. You can see it. You could tell when your loved one comes to jail and they're just doing their time on some low-level prisons, and I don't care if they're on these level 2 yards or stuff like that. Like, they're not hardcore. Hardcore people won't stay on those yards. But if they're going to the hole from those level 2 yards, if you see them going to, they're called restricted housing now.
Yep.
They're going to restrictive housing units, or they're getting removed. They're getting moved around a lot. There's probably a reason. They're probably fighting a lot. That's a problem. So I guess the question to ask them would be why. If they say, well, I'm just handling my business, well, who are you handling your business for? Because those level 2 yards, they're considered non-designated now. There's no, I think they have some that are predominantly GP. They have a couple of them, but those yards are made for people who do not want a program. They want to stay within their gang ideology, and they're beating up people on the non-designated yards. So you have to ask your loved one, well, why are you doing this? If they say, well, it's prison, I just gotta do this and that. Now, you don't have to do nothing in prison. If you do something in prison, it's because you volunteered, you raised your hand. Now, ask them, why are you raising your hand? There's plenty of people that want to do that. There's plenty of people that raise their hand. You're not going to be their only option. So you have to find out why, and that's an important question to ask. You can't be in denial either. You can't be like, well, it's a phase. Hey, trust me, it's a phase that can cost them their life or can cost them their future. So it's very dangerous, because there's people who are not in a phase that are actually pulling the strings over there. This is them. This is what they do. So it's important that you ask those questions why, or maybe you just don't give a shit. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you support it. Hey, I know what it is. I grew up in the hood. That's just what it is. I know people like that. Their whole families are from neighborhoods, and it's natural. It's perfectly natural for them to come to prison, even to get life. It's just a part of the culture, and unfortunately, like, I don't believe in that, but for some people, it's real. It's their truth. So who are we to say otherwise? And it hurts me to see it, because there's hope for people like us now. People of color, there's hope for us. We can get out. People who have a history, even if you're not a minority, there's people who have a history of being incarcerated. There's a lot of resources. People want to help you. They do, and they're not asking you, well, are you SNY when you go out for these resources? They're not asking you that. They're more concerned about making sure you get the resources that are available to you.
They're more concerned about making sure that you return to society and you're an asset, or you have resources available to you, so that you don't feel compelled to return back to a life of crime.
Yeah.
Or victimizing people.
And you could go to college. Like, they're paying for our college. There's grants. There's people we know right now that have left from here, and they continued their college out there in the streets. Guys who did life. Guys who were in here 25, 30 years, got out and continued their education out there. I heard Dylan is came back to California.
Yeah.
And you heard, and he's going to San Diego State.
Yeah.
And he's going to San Diego State University, a guy that did 30 years in prison. And he's out there with his backpack, and he's going to San Diego State University, and he's got the assistance. Every single one of your loved ones that are in the system can have that opportunity available to them. They do not have to go down this path anymore. It does not have to be. Or they can go all the way. Maybe they want to stay in here for the rest of their lives and become somebody in a world of nobodies. Become a member of some crime syndicate. If that's their aspirations, a lot of people had it. We had it. So
Yeah.
we were. Yeah, I was ridiculously disillusioned.
Lost in the sauce.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys want some of the taffy, hit up James. We're trying to we sent it out there. We sent a pretty good amount out there, so we can try to put some money on the books. But yeah, hit him up.
Either $10 half brick or $20 for the brick.
Yep. And then he'll I'm sure he'll send you some. I can see James just sending it out to you free and then just sending us $10. Like honestly, I can see
James in the back room eating all the taffy. Get away, Smeagol. Acting like Smeagol in the corner with all the taffy tore up.
He is KC fan _.
Yeah, he's been running his drags the whole time.
Incumplimiento por exceso de dígitos.